Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? My name is Mike. I am the Director of Sales here at FocalPoint. We're going to give it a little bit of time and see who else jumps in. Um, we will open up mics in this. I am you that does webinars that I like mics to be on. So Chad will go ahead and open up the mics for everybody to be able to talk, ask any questions or anything else of that nature.
Yep, mics are enabled.
Okay. So if you want to unmute, you're more than welcome to, and then that way you're more than welcome to ask a question. If you want to put it in the chat, Chad or Willie will be there to be able to look at that as well. We're going to give just a little bit to see if anybody else can join or that's going to join. And then also, if everybody can hear me, just sort of gives a thumb up on your page would be great. Okay, Brittany is good. It looks like K&H just dropped off for some reason. Tanner is good. We'll give it just a second and see who else is going to jump in here. There's okay. Okay. So again, you can unmute your mics. You're able to talk into this meeting if you want. I definitely like the interaction, but if you want to just ask questions, I've got Chad and Willie here to both stop me during that presentation to make sure we get your questions answered. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We are recording this, so it will be going out to anybody that couldn't make it today. I know that it's during a work week, so we thank you for taking your time out today to spend with us to go over this. So FocalPoint in the past has had what we called our legacy, catalog page, which you can embed into your site and do different things of that nature. What we have come out with this past year is actually a fully designed website. So we host your website for you. We do everything of that nature. We design it the way that you want. And so this is an example of one of the websites that we can do here. So you can see this would be your logo up here. When you're logged in, you can have an administrator to where you can log into the administrator, change some back-end functionality in it. You can look right here. You've got a catalog, and it can pull up your different products that you're selling or that you have here. This is just an easy way of being able to see it here. We have it multiple different ways as well. You have the home, you have the contact us, you have equipment rental. You also can sell merchandise and different things of that nature. If you want to be able to sell online, we do have the ability to sell merchandise online, and we can help you set up your shipping and everything else as well. You have about us. Down here, you can have just different things. You can talk about your pickup and delivery. You can talk about your parts and your service. You can talk about your day, your weekly rates. And this is all customizable based on what you want on your website as well. Now down here, this is where we start pulling in your groups within your FocalPoint system. So you can see the air compressors, the battery tools, the compactors, the concrete equipment, so forth and so on. The nice part about this is all these images are driven from your FocalPoint system now. So you're able to choose. We do have a gallery of pictures already there. You're more than welcome to use them. If you want to use your own, you're more than welcome to do that as well. We would give you screen resolutions for picture sizes to make sure that if you're getting it to where it will look right coming across onto your website as well. So here, we also have recent ads. So when you start adding equipment to your website, to your FocalPoint system, it will generate this recently ad and be able to bring this over here for you as well. The next one is we can do the latest blog. So you can actually have different contents here to be able to keep your customers informed of what's going on with you and your company. Maybe you're going to do an open house and you want your customers to come by. I know we got Bethany in here. They've got 5 locations. To be able to do an open house at one of their locations, have that on their website for people to know and advertise it for them as well to be able to do that. If you're going to be closed for Labor Day or Thanksgiving or anything of that nature, you could post that on the website as well. Down here is new products. So these could be new products that you have that you can actually have in here to be able to to showcase to your customers of new products that you've got. Down here at the bottom is just the standard what we have in almost every website there is. There's going to be a standard bottom page. I'm not sure exactly what that's called, but it gives you the ability to do it. Now, we have different looks within our website. So as you can see, it's scrolling up there. You can come down here, and if you click on concrete equipment, this is one area that it will bring up all of the different looks. So you can see right here is one look. You can see all of the different groups that we have over here as well. So if they wanted to switch from concrete to earth moving equipment, they can click right there without having to go out. You can also see here is the day, week, and month. Now, if I go back a couple here, you will also see when you go into the concrete equipment, you have the ability to see different rates. So we have the ability to set up to where you can actually see rates in different areas based on what you're looking for as well. So again, as you see down here, you have the rates and be able to go into those. And then when you're into those, you can see different rates as well. Where those rates are driven by. So if we go into the FocalPoint system here, which is right here, we'll log in here. There are some new areas. If anybody has the legacy, there are some new areas within the FocalPoint system. So one, if I go into my store manager field, you're going to see a new tab in your store manager field when you get the e-commerce that will come here. This will give you the ability to set up if you want to do payments online, whether it's through the customer portal or allowing customers to make reservations online. We can do that as well. You have some same day rentals to where you can actually set it up to where they can't do it, within 5 minutes of the rental. You can set it up to where it has to be next day. Different things of that nature. When we're doing the training, we go over that with you. Over here is the listing display. So this could be your standard listing that you want to show, which is a day, week, and month. But then down here, you want to show when they go into it, you want to show the minimum, the day, week, and you can show whatever you want. Now, not only do you have the control within the store manager that would be the default across all platforms or all rental rate tables, but then when you go into your rental rate table, we'll just pick on the 185 air compressor here. You now have the ability that when you go into your store rates, that when you get the e-commerce, you will have an e-commerce tab. And then this is where you can determine what your rates are going to show up just on that particular rate table. So again, you can show the display rates and you can show the internal. So I know, if you're getting into any aerial equipment, a lot of people don't want to show daily rates on aerial. They might just want to show, if they're bigger aerials, they're just going to show week and month. But if they're doing a lot of lawn and garden equipment, a lot of times that minimum rate's going to be big for you, especially if you're doing any lawn and landscape. You might have a 2-hour rate, a 4-hour rate, so forth and so on. So you can set all those up to make sure that you're displaying what you want on each one of those items as well. Any questions on what we're talking about right here, going over where these items are at? You can also see right here that when you're in the rate table, you have the ability to actually add your pictures as well right here. This is where your pictures. And if you notice, there's a new button down there called Pick. So if you go into the pick, this takes a little bit to load because we are loading a ton of images, so just bear with it a second. But what it will do is it will pull up different images for you as well. So it's going to pull up your rental, it's going to pull up merchandise, manufacturers, and parts. So like if I go into the rental file here, you can see all the different pictures that we have here. Do we have every manufacturer? Do we have every picture that you're looking for? Probably not. But we have tried to do the best we could to give you the ability to come in here and pick from these and be able to find something that would match the description of what you're wanting to show on the website as well. So all of these are here. You can go into your manufacturing tab and look right there. There's a lot of your manufacturing that you have that can be on there as well. So any questions on the picker or on the rate table and where we're setting those items up at? Now, another screen that we have, and just another look, which we'll touch on, is this is another way that it can look right here. So now if I would go into the concrete equipment here, we can go into the concrete equipment. You can see that I have daily, weekly, and monthly rates here. And on this one, I only have daily and weekly. Now, also, if I go into it, this is where it can expand and you can have different rates in here as well. So again, you would have your main one that we would talk about, that we talked about there, the two different rates. This would be the main one showing it here. And then when they go into the deeper dive of those equipment, you can do that. So let's say we want to book a reservation for something here. So let's go in and let's do it for electric pound jackhammer. So we're going to go in here. We're going to pick a start date. So let's say it is going to be for today, or let's just say it's going to be for tomorrow. We're going to set that up for tomorrow. We're going to hit set, and it will automatically default to 1 day. Since we're going to be over the weekend, it's going to take it over the weekend as well. You can see here that it does have a minimum rate of 3 hours. It has a daily, weekly, and monthly here as well. So from there, if I wanted to put this, I can hit rent. It will add this to my basket. As you can see here, it's just added it to my basket. Do you want to continue shopping? Do you want to view basket, or do you want to check out? We're going to go ahead and go to the checkout screen. When you go to the checkout screen, it will automatically pull that unit there, show them what it is. It will show them the start date and the end date. You will see the price of it there. You will come down here and see all the different totals, and this will be the grand total with all the fees added in. This up here, the subtotal, already has all the fees added in, and then the grand total will be with tax added into it as well. At this point in time, your customer has the ability to either A, go to checkout, or B, request a quote. If they go to checkout, what it will do is it will bring up the checkout processing screen for it. So you have the ability to set up to where they can request a delivery. And if they did, they would do that, and then they would fill in their address and everything else where they're going. I'm going to just put this at will call. And so you can hit next. And then when it hit next, it will automatically take them to the payment screen. It's going to jump over the shipping. So it will take them directly to the payment screen. You can have Visa payments. You can have ACH or e-check if you have that. Now, if they have an account already, which since I'm logged into mine, it recognizes I have an account. So I can put this directly onto my account, so any of your account customers can create a reservation for what they want. So, and if they have special rates, it will give them their special rates when it goes into the FocalPoint system. So if I hit next here, what it will do is it will now take me and create that reservation within the FocalPoint system. You don't have to do anything special or anything else. You can set up to where certain people within your company gets email notifications that you've got a web quote that come across. And again, you can preview this as well. So that customer has the ability to see everything. They can see their reservation. They can see their electric jackhammers. Everything of that nature is right there. Now with that, they also have the ability they can continue, and it will take them back. Now with it, what does it do within the FocalPoint system? So if I come here to my edit existing and I come to my reservation, you can now see I have a tab here that says eCom. I apologize. And if I look at that, you can see right here is for the 27th to the 29th. And you can see there's the electric jackhammer. So it automatically comes into your edit existing, and it will be you will be able to see if it was an eCom coming across as well. So full transparency from the website directly over into the FocalPoint system as well.
Hey, Mike, Bethany's got a question on if you have multiple locations, how to decide which inventory to remove the equipment from.
Brittany, Bethany, that's a great question. So when they log in, they have the ability to go each one of your stores. So they can pick which location they want to pick it from. And I think there's a drop down as well, Chad, if you want to elaborate on that. I haven't played a lot with it, but there's a drop down where they can pick what store they want to come from. And then if it's overbooked at one, they have the ability to go to another store as well.
Yep. When you go to the website in the top corner, there's a drop down for the list of stores, and they can select which location.
But also, if it is for some reason overbooked there, they have the ability to do that as well. Now, the next thing that comes with this is the customer portal. This gives you the ability to give every single one of your customers the ability to log into this. And I want to talk about this. A lot of companies out there will actually say, okay, well, you only have X amount, and after that, you got to pay for each one of those. We realized here at FocalPoint that you need to be able to give this to any customer is, whether it be a cash customer, or charge customer, or anything else. And when I talk about cash customers, if you do any type of event rental, those cash customers a lot of times will make a reservation and pay on that for maybe 3 to 4 months if it's a big wedding, so that gives them the ability to where you're not having to call them. They can log into their account. You can send them reminders. They can log directly into their account and they can pay their bill. And all that is just a one-time fee. The only thing that there is a hosting fee with it to be able to do that. So here's their customer information. They can see everything. If I wasn't logged in, it would ask me if I needed to log in. So if you email somebody something and tell them that, hey, you're going to do it, what they would need to create their account, if they do not have one, is their account number, and they would need the phone number associated with that account. That's all they need. And they can create it and create their account, and it will tie directly back into the FocalPoint system and allow them to have an account. You can see that here's the ship to. So they can come in and review their ship tos. If there is one of these that are inactive anymore, they can contact you and have you take that and make that deactive. We haven't decided to let the customers deactivate things because that could cause a nightmare if they had equipment on rent on one of those sites or something of that nature. So we do not want to do that, and that's the reason we've kept it locked down. They can change their password. The other thing is they can look at their ARR balance. So they can look right here that they've got 20,000. They've got 3,000 over 31 days, and they've got a total balance of 23,000. They can also come in here to the invoices. They can see their invoices. If they wanted to pay their invoice, they could click right here and go directly into pay. So they can do this, and for whatever reason, they just came in and they just wanted to make a $2,000 payment on this one. For whatever reason, whether they're disputing it or whatever, but they wanted to make a payment on it. They could go in there, they could hit process. When they hit process again, you've got the Visa or the ACH if you offer that. They're going to do this one by a Visa. They're going to hit next. They're going to have to put in some information just like every place you do with credit cards or anything of that nature. You've got to put some information in. And then they would put in their zip code. Now, as you all know, we've all bought enough stuff online nowadays. If you have your credit card stored, it will automatically pop that up for you. Then they can hit their payment. It will do their payment for them as well, and that is taken care of. And then it will show them the receipt, and they can print this receipt off for their records as well. So that way it is all taken care of from there. They don't have to worry about anything. They don't have to worry about calling, and it automatically removes it. So now you can see that we've made a payment for the $2,000, and they have a balance now of $1,901.13. So again, they can make a full payment. They could pay multiple different invoices, or they could do what they want. But right there gives them the ability to pay what they want on each one of those invoices. They can look if they have any open quotes. They can do that. They can come right here, and they have the ability to look and see what that is. Now, we also give them the ability not only on reservations, but also on a quote. So if you're doing anything in party, and I drive to that because that's where they'll usually want to make a payment on a quote, to go ahead and book that as a reservation. You have the ability to do that and get a notification that they've made a payment, and boom, you can convert it directly into a reservation as well. Next one is you can see their orders as well. So you can see different orders that they have out right now, see the equipment that are on those orders. They can make a payment on those specific orders if they wanted to. And then reservations, they can see any reservations that they have set, the date and time that they're supposed to go out. And do that. Then if they have any sales order or sales only, they can see that as well. And then on rent, they have the ability to not only see their on rent, if there's ship to addresses, it will have the ship to. If there's PO numbers, all of this stuff will show that for them to allow them to know where every bit of their equipment is and where they are at. Also, when you generate statements, now they can go right here and be able to view that statement. If there is an invoice that they are unfamiliar with, versus them picking up the phone, and this would never happen, right? When they get their statement, they would never call you and say, look, I didn't get this invoice, or I didn't get this, I didn't get this. So if I look at 419, right, I think that's the one it is. If it's still on here, we can go back to our invoices. And then, I'm sorry, I've already got that one gone because it was an old statement, but I can preview that invoice as well. So they can no longer, sorry, for some reason it didn't load, but they can automatically look at any one of their invoices to be able to see. So there you go. There's how it works. They can view this. They can print that. So this should eliminate some of those calls at the beginning of the month for your charge customers. And I hate to say it, but we know how it is, them just trying to get some extra days on paying, right? So this will allow them to see every invoice that they have that have been created to them to where they can look at it and review it themselves. Any questions on the customer portal that we just went over? I know I've went over things pretty quick, but everybody's been pretty quiet, and it just allows me to flow. Just three of y'all. Y'all can open your mics, talk loudly, be yelled, anything of that nature. Who's on at K?
Yeah, Mike, this is Tanner. We've had issues with taking payments where a contractor wants to use their customer's payment method, but that customer didn't authorize that payment, and we've gone to where we just take payments from our customers with cards in their names. On the e-commerce, it looks like you can put in any payment method using any card. Is that correct? Or is there a way to restrict that to where the name on the card needs to be the name of the customer?
I'm not sure on that. Chad, can you check with Card Connect and see if we can do something on that to make that work or something of that nature? I don't know if there's a restriction
Sure.
On that, because I know there's a lot of websites, and Tanner, that's where it gets to be tricky, to be honest with you. And you're right on that. And that's not just with us. That's any e-commerce you go to. I can go to any e-commerce site and put in anybody's credit card that I want and do that. We hope people are ethical and doing it right, but unfortunately, in today's world, I don't think people are as ethical as what we would like them to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I appreciate it, Mike. I was just asking. Thank you.
Yeah, but we can check. I mean, Chad will do some investigation on that and see if there's a way we could lock it down. I can see that given issues as well, especially if it's a corporate card. Depending on whose name on it, could it be paid or something of that nature? So there would have to be some investigation and look at all avenues on that as well. Bethany, any questions? I don't know if you can talk or you can just chat, but definitely any questions. K&H, it's K&R, isn't it? You got K&H, but it's Tool Rental up out of Indianapolis, if I'm not mistaken. It's probably Kurt on the phone or on the call. Am I correct on that?
Nope, K&H is
K&H, okay.
Connecticut.
Okay, Connecticut. Good. Sorry. I'm just used to the other one. So definitely, we would like to earn your all's business on the e-com. This has been a great portion for everybody to be able to do. And the biggest thing that we're doing now is actually designing your website for you and hosting it for you. We're doing all that for you versus the old legacy to where it was embedded to an iframe. Stuff could go wrong. It looked bad, didn't look as good. And so now what we're doing is really trying to redesign it. So just like Bethany, she has multiple stores, so they'll be able to go into those. Let's go back to the one. I think that it actually has multiple stores set up, or maybe it doesn't. But yeah, you can go. Yeah, here it is. So if you go up here to the top, they can actually look at the stores that they want to look at as well. So this is one area. If it shows unavailable, it will pop up a box. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, and ask them, do they want to look at availability at other locations as well?
Yep.
So we tried to think about all those things. Not that we're perfect, and like we said, we never claim to be that way. I think up here on the initial, we give you 5 different areas that you can do, and I don't know if that I don't think that counts the equipment rental and stuff of that nature. But like if you wanted to have different things, like your About Us, you wanted different things in your About Us tab to where you could actually have what your company is about. If you had a mission statement or something of that nature, I think we give you 5 of those to begin with. If we go into any extra, we'll look at those as well as an individual basis. But, again, you want to be able to do different things. You can add pictures. Now, the other great part about it is we do give you some ability to manipulate some of these areas, not all, but we do give you ability to manipulate some to where that way you can go into your own website and make some changes as well. But we worked really hard at making this as look as professional and as smooth as everything. We just felt like the old one worked, but you had to use iframes, you had to use different things of that nature, and all of a sudden you had 4 different pages open, for that same website. So we did this to where you didn't have to embed it and do that stuff as well.
I'll also note too. So we do have like 3 different primary templates that you can kind of choose from. And each one kind of has their own unique layout. But a lot of it's all customizable too.
Yeah.
We can match colors of your business, your logo.
So this is where Chad's talking about. You have the ability to go into your back. You can do into your sales. You can go to content management. You can go into the configuration. All of this that we do, we have it set up to where we do training with you. You do not walk into this blind. We do not want anybody doing something and just getting frustrated with their website. We know how important this is. This is a face to your company, to your customers out there, and it is become a very big thing to make sure that you have the ability to do it. So these are the different ones that we have. And again, this is just gives you the ability to go in and do some different things within the back end of it as well. But, again, if you like the way this one looks, we can design it this way. And again, if you like the way the other one looks, sorry, trying to navigate between a couple screens. So if you go back into here, and you like the way, so this is sort of how this comes out. So just to sort of show you all, this one's a little bit different, but this gives you the ability to have your merchandise on here. So you can have merchandise and parts broke out. You can go right here to merchandise, and then it will bring up your merchandise. So you can have concession, floor, landscaping, safety, anything of that nature that you want. And then you can go right in here to be able to see it. So you can see you can add merchandise directly to an order to be able to pay for it as well. So just like the rental, we gave you the ability to do this. So now you can sell your merchandise anywhere in the United States or Canada or wherever you want to ship to as well. It gives you that full capability. This is just this is sort of my production on mine. And then the other one, they've built out the full website. But again, it gives you the ability to do that. Also, there is an area in here that you have for manufacturers as well that you can actually break it out strictly by manufacturer. So I think if I go back in here to the parts, you can see there's a manufacturers. If you view all, this will bring up all of your manufacturers. So if somebody is dealing with steel or something of that nature, they can go right into the steel and it will pull up all the steel products that you have as well. So they can also, if they know the part number, they are able to search the part number to be able to find that as well and look for that. Okay. You just sent me a link, Chad?
Yeah, it's another example of a site layout.
Yeah. So this is a site that we have done for one of our other customers. And this just gives you an idea of sort of the things that we can do.
So like if you hover over canopies, so we can kind of break it out to that way with the subcategories on the website, which all again pulls from FocalPoint on how we lay out the groups.
So again, all the information on here is driving directly from your FocalPoint system. It is updated for you, and I think there's time limits on it of when it syncs and stuff. And during training, we'll go over that with you. But it's real time. If somebody makes a reservation, as you saw, it's real time right back into your FocalPoint system. There is no wait on that. If somebody makes a payment, it is real time back into your FocalPoint to where you know that they have made a payment and their aging has went down.
Yeah, along with that, we also set up, we can set up email or text notifications whenever new orders, new payments come in as well.
Yep. So again, we hope you all like this new feature. Any questions, please reach out to the sales team or to support. We'll be more than happy to sit down with you and go over any of this with you. Bethany, if you want to email me, we'll set up a call for a little bit later today and we can go over any questions you might have as well. If nobody has any questions, we're going to call this the end of it. And if you all would like to talk at any point in time, please just reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to sit down with you and talk to you about it. You all have a great day. Thank you. And bye.